Oh, howdy all, grab yourself a drink. It is time for some Path of Exile discussion. We are 1.5 days out from 3.18 starting, and there is still news coming out, so I thought I would put it all into one video for you. Firstly, we have the Sentinel boss kill event. This was announced today, and it's a little bit different to the way it was run in 3.17, mostly so that one player can't win all of the big prizes. Here, there are 7 prizes for being 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th to complete all 7 of the new bosses. So you'll need to kill Uber Eater of Worlds, Uber Searing Exarch, Uber Maven, Uber Cyrus, Uber Venarius, Uber Elder, and Uber Shaper. Uber Elder just sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? So if you kill all 7 of those and you're one of the first 7 to do it on Hardcore Solo Self-Found Sentinel League, then you will win one of the prizes. What are the prizes? You get to commission a unique item that will drop from one of these bosses, and you will also get to commission a divination card. Now, if there are multiple people that want to commission an item for the same boss, then the person who placed highest gets priority there. So for instance, if Lighty was to place 1st and Zizran 2nd, and both of them wanted to make an item for the Uber Eater of Worlds, then Zizran would have to choose something else. If you like Hardcore Solo Self-Found, go for it. You're automatically enrolled in this event by just starting a character in Hardcore Solo Self-Found Sentinel. On the flip side, if you don't like Hardcore Solo Self-Found, then play your choice of league instead. So the other news we got today, a couple of the new Forbidden Flame jewels. So these are the Forbidden Flames that allocate something that is not available in the Ascendancies normally. So the Ranger version of this has now been revealed. Fury of Nature is what you will receive. You will need to have both the Forbidden Flame and the Forbidden Flesh for Fury of Nature. Get both of them, and non-damaging elemental ailments your character inflicts spread to nearby enemies within a radius of 20. This is one of the biggest radius elemental proliferation effects that we've got in the game. 20 is a fair chunk, especially given the amount of juice that you'll have in endgame maps. This is going to be incredibly powerful for proliferating freezes through packs, but it's not just limited to freezes. You can do this with shocks, you can do this with brittle. You can't do it with ignites though, because it's non-damaging elemental ailments. I really like the look of this, and I think it will be interesting to play around with and see how well it goes. It's something to maybe keep in mind as something for a second character, especially if you've never played Ice Shot and just proliferated freezes through packs. It's really satisfying, especially when you then get those Herald of Ice explosions as well. The next thing that was announced was a Guild Initiate rank. This is something that's being added as a feature for larger guilds. Not really something that tight-knit guilds will ever use, but if you've got someone that newly joins your guild, you can put them in an Initiate rank which is lower than a full member. This then allows you a little bit more control over what they can take out of the guild stash. So you can have one tab that is only available to Initiates, one tab that is available to all of the members, and one tab that is available to the officers only. But also there's a number of Easter eggs in this post from a guild leader named Crystallized Omniscience with I miss nerfs as a comment next to them, and also just a weird obsession with Thomas the Tank Engine, which was good for a little bit of a laugh there. Next we had Souldrinker. This is the Shadow version of the Forbidden Flame. This one provides a tremendous amount of Energy Shield Leech. This allows you to overleech Energy Shield, and I think that this may actually have some use on some oddball Trickster builds. So this is not the Trickster buff that people were waiting for, but it definitely would have some use there. It's also probably going to get used a lot more on Assassins though, because Assassins are just better. 2% of damage leeched as Energy Shield. That's a lot. 20% increased attack and cast speed while you are leeching Energy Shield. And Energy Shield leech effects are not removed when Energy Shield is filled. So this allows you to get access to Overleech as though you're a Slayer, but it's for Energy Shield rather than for life. I really like this, so I think that this will see a fair bit of use on Energy Shield based Assassins that use Cast on Critical Strike and Cosprey's Malice in order to fill the screen with projectile vomit of cold projectiles and also Ice Novas. This is something that will definitely do well on those builds, but that's not all it can be used on. It can also be used on something as obscure as a Penance Brand Eternity Shroud Trickster, which is also something that I think could be an interesting build and that was a little bit light on the life recovery in the past. I particularly like the way that this is going to be great either with Chaos Inoculation or just with low life. I think it's something that people will definitely have a bit of fun with. The last piece of news that we got was easily missed because it was in a Reddit post, and this relates to the Keystone Singular Focus. Maps found have 200% more chance to be favorited maps, and non-favorited maps found in your maps drop as basic currency items instead. Most of us read this and assumed, yes, this means that your Cortex will be automatically vended for you. Bex from GGG absolutely confirmed this over on Reddit, so that is the way that this will work. maps that can't normally drop, that can't be favorited, like synthesis maps, like Shaper Guardian maps, they will be affected by this. And so you will not be able to get a Cortex dropping while you've got Singular Focus allocated. I did some numbers on this as to how significant a drawback it is. And broadly speaking, if prices for Cortex and synthesis maps are reasonably similar in patch 3.18 to what they were in patch 3.17, this is going to cost you about 1 Chaos Orb per map. This is based upon your baseline chance, assuming that you don't take the synthesis wheel, of getting synthesis maps, which I believe to be 1%. I'm not 100% sure that's right. And also based upon a baseline chance of about 4% to get a Shaper Guardian map. Again, not 100% certain those drop rates are right, but if they're wrong, they're not wrong by all that much. Additionally, you'll get fewer Elder Guardian maps and fewer Conqueror Influence maps, because you might, let's say that you've fully favorited your Atlas for Strand, you will sometimes get a non-Strand map that would have dropped as a Conqueror Influence map, and that's not going to drop. That's going to basically be automatically vended for you. But that's only going to be about a quarter of those maps that you would have got. I don't think that that's a particularly big deal, because you're going to be so much faster at running the map you've got your Singular Focus on. So what's my overall attitude to Singular Focus now that we know the ins and outs of how it works? I think it is a pretty solid choice, but that it is far from mandatory. I think that if you are someone who genuinely prefers running a single map over and over, then Singular Focus empowers that for you, and it is something you should seriously consider doing, but not until you have a well-established map pool. And ideally, not until you have got Maven's Invitation the Forgotten done and gotten the points from that. And once you've done that, then Singular Focus is going to be worth your while. It's just going to save you a lot of time trading. You'll be mapping faster, and that will make up for the fact that you will get less loot each map, because you'll be missing out on these Cortex drops. However, it's not so strong that we're going to see a return to the Legacy League, where people felt compelled to do a Strand matter whether they wanted to or not. This is just one option among many, and I think that's the right power level for it to be at. Anyway, that's all I've got. May your Volobs have interesting results.